Hey, just trying to record week 5 video. Obviously, I'm late, but I still feel like it's important to do it and / finish it. So anyways, one thing I found really interesting from the interview with Danielle Parsh on the Social Work podcast was her explanation that evidence-based practice is not just about using research articles or finding one thing that is supporting your intervention. She talks about how evidence-based practice is really a combination of 3 things, and then those 3 things are what's the best available research, what is the practitioner's professional expertise, and then what are the client's values and preferences, which all of those also kind of reflect in like the code of ethics for social work that we've talked about all throughout this program, especially with like the client's needs. I thought that this was really helpful because it shows that we have to think critically as social workers about interventions instead of just automatically applying them. It reminded me that work in one study might not always work for like a certain population or a certain community, and I feel like we also saw that like throughout like the veterans housing project that we learned about. So when you're comparing the article evidence-based practices and practice-based evidence from the National Council of Urban Indian Health with Dr. Parish's interview, I noticed that there was a lot of overlap. Both emphasize that the research evidence alone is not enough. The article talks about practice-based evidence, which means learning from real experiences within the communities and using cultural knowledge to, gauge interventions and guide interventions. Similarly, Danielle talks about how as practitioners, need to consider context and the voices of the people that we're working with. Both of these sources highlight the importance of combining research with real-world knowledge and understanding like the culture and the demographics and the group that we were trying to help out and are trying to help out. These ideas are definitely really important when I think about selecting the interventions in my own future social work practice. I've definitely brought up many times that I have a passion for doing EMDR therapy for first responders who have significant trauma and PTSD. So I think that this is important in my work because I have a lot of experience with the clientele and I myself am considered the clientele. So I think that helps knowing what they need, but it then also puts it in perspective that just because like I've been through it doesn't always mean that like they have similar experiences or need the same things that like I need. But anyways, everybody has different stressors, different attitudes, different things that they've gone through, and also unfortunately there still is like a lot of negative stigma in regards to like this population getting help. There's a lot of like, well, if you can't like hack it, you need to leave. And it's like, well, it's not that I can't hack it, it's just like we have to process things. And just because it's very important to just kind of break through that stigma and get through to that population and that specific client, like how we can do that. And definitely using like the 3 methods helps a lot, and I plan on applying it to my own practice and the population that I would like to serve. Overall, I think that the podcast and the article helped me understand better that evidence-based practice is about balancing research, professional knowledge, and the lived experiences that the people that we serve. So thank you for taking time and listening to me.